I welcome you to our commemoration of the 10th anniversary of the events of September 11, 2001, featuring the Buffalo Grove Symphonic Band. I would be remiss if I did not first thank the Buffalo Grove Arts Commission, chaired by Linda Rosen, the 9/11 Commemoration Committee, chaired by our Symphonic Band conductor Howard Green, and our village staff for their hard work in creating this memorable program. There are events in our history that have defined the character of America. For my parents' generation, it was the Great Depression, the attack on Pearl Harbor in World War II. For my generation, Watergate and the war in Vietnam impacted our nation both morally and politically. And of course, who doesn't remember where they were when they first heard that President John F. Kennedy had been assassinated? The events of September 11th have had a similar impact on America as a nation. At 8:46 a.m. on September 11, 2001, hijacked American Airlines Flight 11 crashed into the upper portion of the North Tower of the World Trade Center in New York City. 17 minutes later, at 9:03, hijacked United Airlines Flight 175 crashed into the South Tower of the World Trade Center. At 9:37 a.m., the west wall of the Pentagon was hit by hijacked American Airlines Flight 77, the impact of which caused immediate and catastrophic loss of life and damage to the headquarters of the Department of Defense. 20 minutes later, at approximately 10 o'clock a.m., the passengers and crew of hijacked United Airlines Flight 93 acted heroically to retake control of their airplane and thwart the taking of additional American lives by crashing the airliner in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, and, in doing so, gave their lives to save countless others. Thousands of lives were lost, including 343 members of the New York Fire Department, 37 members of the Port Authority Police Department, and 23 New York Police Department officers. It was the largest loss of life for any emergency response in United States history. The events of September 11, 2001 have changed the fabric of America. In many respects, we as a nation lost our independence that day. We lost our innocence. Prior to 9/11, acts of terrorism happened somewhere else, on the streets of Jerusalem, in Pakistan, in Europe, or other faraway places that did not impact our everyday lives. We saw some of them on television and were thankful that it could not, or at least was not, happening here. We were safe from all the nonsense and craziness of the outside world. We were free. We were safe. Those terrible acts of terrorism and violence we saw on that little screen happened to others, not to us, not in the United States. September 11th changed all that. There was finally a realization that the world was shrinking. Violence that happened to others, less fortunate and less civilized areas, came home. We may never feel as safe as we did prior to those horrific events. We may never view our safety, our children's safety, and our country's safety as we did prior to that day. We may never view others, those we do not know, those we do not understand, strangers, in the same manner we did prior to that day. No, we as a country will never be the same. But we have learned from those events, and we have altered our approach to many of the concerns and issues resulting from the attack. In many ways, as a result of the tragic loss, we have become more aware, more determined, and more attuned to challenges of today's violent, shrinking world. We have survived, and in typical American fashion, we have grown, prospered, and today, we are a stronger nation. Yet we must remain diligent in protecting our citizens from the violence of today's world. In addition to remembering those whose lives were needlessly lost, we need to recognize, honor, and appreciate our first responders, who every day, in many different ways, place their lives in harm's way to ensure our safety and freedom. We honor today members of our armed forces, police departments, firefighters, state, federal, and municipal employees, and others who protect us, our freedom, and our way of lives. I would like to acknowledge several members here today, members of the Village Board, who are here with us: Jeff Berman, Beth Sussman, Steve Truling, Mike Turson, Andy Stein, Les Ottenheimer, former village president Elliot Harstein, and former trustee Deanne Glover. I would also like to acknowledge State Representative Elaine Nekritz, who is in the audience, and have had a phone call from Sid Mathias, who is unable to attend because of a recent surgery. I welcome today others who have joined me here on stage. Specifically, I wish to thank United States Representative Robert Dole from the 10th District and Brigadier General Dunn, Commanding General, 85th Support Command, United States Army, for attending our event, and trust that their words will be insightful and moving. Again, thank you all for attending this afternoon. Please stand for the posting colors by the combined honor guards of the Buffalo Grove Police and Fire Departments. Then join me for the Pledge of Allegiance